Thanks, Sean. Honored to be here in a room full of hallowed FDU sports alumni, and I'm humbled to be here to present Johnny David with this award and his induction into the Hall of Fame. Nowadays, I think everyone would agree that soccer has become more mainstream in this country. Everyone was in this room probably was following the World Cup this past summer and was captivated by the U.S. team performance. But I think to describe and kind of get the point across about Johnny, there are a few analogies I'd like to make that might apply to some other sports or some people could relate to. First thing would be Dr. Kiernan talked about how when Johnny played, he'd hear the other team say, where's number 6? Where's number 6? You keeping an eye on number 6. The reality of it is Johnny played left midfield for us. And I'm going to use a few examples of people in sports we know, famous people, who kind of revolutionized their positions. Those of you who follow hockey know that Bobby Orr revolutionized the rushing defenseman, who back in the day, defensemen used to just stay back at the point, and they would defend, and they'd take occasional slap shot and be at the power play. Bobby Orr would go full length, rushing the ice, and he completely changed hockey. When you think of Lawrence Taylor as a linebacker, back in the day, the linebackers were kind of these big, heavy-footed guys who kind of stayed in one part of the field, and Lawrence Taylor revolutionized that. And he would rush, he would drop on coverage, he did everything. He was so athletic and mobile. Another guy I would mention is Magic Johnson, because Magic Johnson was a 6'8" guard. So you had a guy who could post low, he could run the point, he can shoot from outside, he could dish it off to people with all his assists. Johnny was that for us as a left midfielder, because Johnny was so creative and unique in how he played the position that we just gave him free rein to go anywhere on the field. So he'd start off on the left side, and then he might end up as a center forward. He might end up as a right wing. He'd be in the middle half the time. Teams had no idea how to defend him. And Dr. Kiernan was absolutely right. And it really came through when we were playing nationally ranked Brown at the Yale tournament in 2003. And, you know, the guys from Brown are supposed to be pretty smart, and their coach is supposed to be a pretty smart guy, and they assigned a guy to follow Johnny wherever he went. Now, not only did Johnny continue to have an influence on the game, but Johnny would start off on the left, and he'd be on the right or in the middle half the time, and that opened up the whole left side for our other All-American on that team, Aaron Pay, who could just fly by people. And we beat Brown. We had a great team in 2003. And Johnny's ability from 2000 to 2003 revolutionized the position and how we played. His creativity, his ability to not just go forward, but to accept his responsibilities defensively. You know, he had that kind of integrity as a player as well as a person. Another analogy I'd make would be Landon Donovan, who had his send-off game, his tribute with the U.S. national team last night in Hartford. And Johnny, in my tenure, I've been lucky enough to be here 18 years. We've had some great teams in 18 years, and since 2000, we've been to 6 NCAA tournaments, won 6 NEC championships, been to an Elite 8, been to an additional Sweet 16, an NCAA second round. And Johnny was a huge part of the second round year and the Elite 8 year. So Johnny, in my tenure, my 18 years, perhaps you can appreciate the fact when I analogize him to being the Landon Donovan of my era. He's that kind of guy, humble, hardworking, cared about his teammates, self-sacrificing. As you'll learn in a few minutes, a man of few words. But it's true, he's a strong, silent type. He was captain his senior year, and he is the epitome of leading by example. He was not a rah-rah type of guy. He just led by example. First one to practice every day, last one to leave. Every single game, he was focused, he was committed, he was tuned in every minute of every game. And that was Johnny David, and that's why I say he was Landon Donovan of the era that I've been lucky enough to be coaching at FDU. And the other thing I'd say is, if you had a fantasy league of the 18 years that I've been here of FDU players, and now you have a half dozen people choosing their teams, half dozen general managers, and I'm the general manager of the first team with the first pick in my 18 years, it would be Johnny David. And I mean that. Johnny epitomized everything you would want and expect from a student athlete, from a scholar athlete, as David Langford says. He was not just the NEC Player of the Year, his senior year. He was also Scholar Athlete of the Year, I believe. I don't know the exact wording, you'll find in his bio. And he is a guy who represents all that we like to feel student athletes, scholar athletes represent. Family, academics, athletics. And that's Johnny. And that's exactly who he is. And, he's a unique guy. He's a special guy. You don't find many guys. He was an old school throwback, and he was great in the locker room. His teammates respected him. They loved him. He was a real coach's player, and he was a guy who played a pivotal role in our march to the Elite Eight in 2001, which started with the most epic NEC championship game in history back in the day when they played 4 overtimes, and in quadruple overtime, we beat LIU 2-1. Then, in the opening round of the NCAA tournament, we beat Boston College 1-0 in triple overtime, or a lot of basketball and baseball guys, Coach Herenda, Coach Puccio, so I'll say instead of 1-0, 1-0, all right? So then, the next game, we beat Princeton 2-1, and now we're set up to play in the Sweet 16 at Seton Hall in one of the most memorable days, I think, in FDU soccer history, in my career, in Johnny's career. We're playing Seton Hall, who was the big kid on the block, who had just beaten number 3 seed UVA 2-0, 2-0 down at UVA. And now they're hosting us, standing room only crowd. There are people standing in the parking deck at Seton Hall watching the game, and we beat them 1-0 to advance to the Elite Eight. And there we came within 1 goal of making it to the Final Four when we lost in triple overtime 3-2 to University of North Carolina. Johnny was the backbone of those teams. Was a member of 4 straight NEC championships, 4 straight NCAA tournaments, and an Elite Eight team. And he is the consummate winner, the consummate scholar athlete. So I'm proud to present to you and honor Johnny David tonight.
Thanks, Coach, for those nice words. Before I start, I just wanted to say, for those of you who know me, the public speaking is not actually one of my better attributes. So I'll spare you guys and make this real quick. I want to thank the university, the administration, and the staff for putting together such a wonderful event. I want to thank the Hall of Fame committee for my selection. It's definitely unexpected, and it's something that's very humbling. I want to congratulate the other inductees on their achievements, and I want to thank my wife, my parents, and my family for all the years of encouragement. When I look back at my 4 years at the university, like Coach said, the thing I'm most proud of is being part of a dynasty that won 4 straight conference titles, made it to the Elite Eight, and achieved several national rankings. I was very fortunate to be part of a great group of guys throughout my career who were more concerned about winning than about achieving personal accolades. Everything that we accomplished, we did as a group. Anything that I accomplished individually was a part of what they did for me, what we did for each other. It was definitely a group effort. This induction is as much theirs as it is mine. I also want to thank the coaching staff, Coach Rowland, Pasucci, Kozeski, and Dixon, who aren't here today. They definitely prepared us for life on the field as well as life off the field. They were teachers and mentors. They stressed the importance of being student athletes while developing a winning culture. Hold on, lost myself here. and even when people said that we were overachieving and out of our league, they made us believe that we could win and that we belonged and that success was something that we were expected. The results speak for themselves. Long after my class had graduated, the program continues to be successful, and that just speaks volumes of what the coaching staff has done. They've developed a winning tradition here, and in my opinion, they're probably one of the best coaching staffs in the country. But probably the biggest thing that I've learned in my 4 years here had nothing to do with soccer. The core values that Coach instilled in us of accountability, integrity, commitment, and hard work are something that not only prepared us for success on the field, it also laid the foundation for success after soccer. And for that, I'll always be grateful. And with that being said, I just want to thank the committee for my selection. Again, it's an honor to be in the company of such great athletes and people. Coach Blaney, I'm a big fan. I just want to thank you guys, all right? Thank you.